Spark Books here. Today, I'm going to explain the book, The Power of Strangers, by Keohane. Take care, enjoy the book, and have a nice day. The Power of Strangers, 2021, explores why we don't talk to strangers, and why we definitely should. It looks at how humans evolved to communicate and collaborate with strangers and reveals why our modern alienation from one another is such a problem. Key idea number 1, fear of strangers is separating us. Most Westerners were raised to fear foreigners. Maybe your parents told you not to take candy from strangers. Maybe your school showed you movies about the dangers of talking to strangers. First, we're constantly moving, so we never get to know our neighbors. Globalization means we're more likely to talk to a foreign customer service rep than our neighborhood greengrocer. Finally, technology. We regularly talk to individuals online without meeting them. We've always distrusted outsiders. Since settlements began, strangers have been considered as deadly agents of betrayal and disorder. Villages, cities, and nations grew with this terror. Whole groups have been persecuted for being different. We still dread strangers. The Harris County, Georgia sheriff put up a sign in 2018. Our citizens have concealed firearms. We may retaliate if you kill someone. 1 jail, 356 cemeteries. Enjoy. Fear is isolating us. Our dread of strangers is separating us. Cultural and political isolation shows our distrust of others. Consider immigration. In many countries, fear and animosity are directed toward immigrants fleeing conflict, starvation, or climate change, or seeking better economic opportunities. This issue fuels our dread of others with heated political views. We perceive opposing viewpoints as grave foes rather than debating them. We separate and silo. We're dangerously alone. Loneliness is prevalent in the UK and US. Loneliness is as harmful as smoking. Why? Many factors. First, we're constantly moving, so we never get to know our neighbors. Globalization means we're more likely to talk to a foreign customer service rep than our neighborhood greengrocer. Finally, technology. We regularly talk to individuals online without meeting them. Key idea number 2, we underestimate and presume strangers won't like us. Sitting in a crowded subway, you're killing time? You're probably on your phone like everyone else. Western cities have it. Despite being around others, we hardly interact. We remain silent even while next to someone enjoying an artwork in an art gallery. Why? We're not sure people want to talk to us, and we're not sure we want to approach them, according to research. We underestimate and presume strangers won't like us. Let's assume strangers dislike us. In 2018, psychologist Erica Boothby conducted an experiment where participants interacted with strangers in various scenarios. These comprised a lab, college dorm, and personal development workshop. Researchers discovered the liking gap. People believed they loved strangers more than strangers liked them. Even after a good talk, participants thought the other person didn't like them. This idea prevents us from talking to strangers. In 2013, Nicholas Epley and Juliana Schroeder had participants converse to strangers on public transportation, taxis, and waiting rooms. Epley and Schroeder found something startling. Participants were shocked to find strangers pleasant and fascinating. Urbanites generally view strangers as obstacles to overcome. We don't consider the subway or street crowds human. Lesser minds problem. Since we can't read minds, we presume outsiders are less intelligent. We undervalue them. Not all is bad. Epley and Schroeder found that strangers were easier to talk to. After discussing, it seemed natural. As we'll see next blink, it is. Key idea number 3, evolution required working with strangers. Bonobos resemble chimpanzees. These apes have distinct personalities. Chimps kill newcomers to their species. Thus, xenophobic. Bonobos are opposite. They seek out outsiders. They prefer strangers to familiar apes. Xenophilic bonobos. Like chimpanzees, humans can be horribly xenophobic. Humans are more like bonobos than chimps. We've improved communication and collaboration. We had to survive. The point, evolution required working with strangers. Our ancestors left the trees for the plains 2.5 million years ago as the environment cooled and dried. They had to hunt enormous animals and defend themselves from wild cats and hyenas. Humans formed intricate group dynamics to survive. Hunter-gatherers stopped fighting and started sharing information. War was pointless. The throwing spear made attacking another group's territory riskier. Second, killing strangers cut off information. How do you negotiate rough terrain and avoid hungry predators without local guides? Thus, early humans were more calm than expected. That molded their societies. Our ancestors mixed with various tribes rather than staying in one place. These fluid groups grew. They spread concepts that were crucial to our survival as a species. People were far more cosmopolitan than the title tribesman suggests, says anthropologist Eleanor Leacock. We instinctively work with strangers. We and they benefit. Key idea number 4, talking to strangers boosts happiness and connection. Social ties are the major element in happiness and well-being. Good relationships are linked to mental and physical health in several research. Unfortunately, persons without solid relationships are more prone to develop mental health issues and heart disease. These studies typically examine close family or friend interactions. Stranger relationships, do they matter? Talking to strangers improves our mood and connection. Talking to strangers was studied by Gillian Sandstrom and Elizabeth Dunn in 2013. 30 men and 30 women were recruited in front of a Starbucks. They then told half the participants to talk to baristas and the other half to be brief. The psychologists reassessed both groups. Their testimony reinforced Sandstrom and Dunn's initial suspicions. Talking to a barista enhanced mood, belonging, and Starbucks pleasure. Sandstrom and Dunn discovered that even brief social contacts promote well-being. Sandstrom and Dunn performed another experiment to prove their conclusion. Participants were given red and black clickers and told to click the red one when they saw a strong tie like a friend or family member and the black one when they saw a weak tie like a stranger. Many weak ties made people happier. They felt more community pride. On days when a person stayed home and simply went out for shopping or coffee, these sensations were considerably stronger. Thus, weak bonds can nurture us more on lonely days. The conclusion? Humans need constant interaction. Talk to your barista or hot dog vendor to brighten your mood. Key idea number 5. First chat to strangers, then break the script. Consider a street market fruit stall. Strawberry basket payment is coming up. The vendor takes your money and prepares your change. After learning that talking to strangers might improve your mood and help you feel more connected, you start a discussion. Maintain eye contact while communicating. This simple act releases social bonding hormone oxytocin. But words elude you. Start where? How do you continue? Luckily, social interaction has tried and true methods. The point: first chat to strangers, then break the script. Small chat first. It's hardly a deep conversation, but that's not the goal. Small chat connects, like a hello. Take English weather talk. Some feel it shows a listless, uninspired society. It's not. Talking about the weather helps many Brits overcome their shyness. It's an opener for more essential topics. What happens after small talk? How do you go deeper? Break the script. Answer unexpectedly and personally. At checkout, a clerk asks, "How are you today?" Instead of "I'm okay, thanks, how are you?" Try "Well, I'd say about a 7 out of 10, and you?" You'd show you're not just mouthing words. You thoughtfully answered their question. This shows that you're not a robot. Breaking the script sometimes requires honesty. I know it's not kosher to chat to people on public transit, but I couldn't help noting that. Could start a discussion on a train. This self-consciousness will relax the other person. Ask questions after someone starts talking. Those prefer to talk to people who care about them. Maintain eye contact while communicating. This simple act releases social bonding hormone oxytocin. Key idea number 6. We need cosmopolitanism to survive. COVID-19 simply accelerated existing patterns by turning our life into one long Zoom call. Before the pandemic, we spent more time online. We were used to ordering food online. Our peers became ghosts. As expected, this lifestyle has caused severe loneliness, despair, and social isolation. If we continue, we'll live in a nightmarish future where we're primarily alone and our caregivers are invisible. Disengagement deepens cultural, social, and political silos. Awareness, curiosity, and acceptance lead to a brighter future. We need cosmopolitanism to survive. We must first accept our condition. We're all strangers now. The stranger is no longer the exception, but the rule, wrote sociologist Leslie Harmon. As we drift apart, we share more. Cosmopolitanism also applies. This phrase means what? Margaret Jacob defines usefully: the ability to experience individuals of diverse cultures, creeds, and colors with joy, wonder, and interest, she explains. This is not cosmopolitanism. Instead, we should celebrate our individuality and be curious about each other. Curiosity is the strongest defense against all that divides us. Curiosity dispels the misconception of thinking others are less intelligent or human than us. Curiosity lets us explore others' fascinating lives. Most importantly, curiosity can reveal how much we share and how little separates us. Isolation in the West is eroding civilizations and damaging health. Our accomplishments and ancient roots have wired us to communicate. Talking to strangers boosts happiness, trust, and community connection. Small chat can help us break the script and relearn this lost art. Curiosity, acceptance, and an emphasis on commonalities rather than differences are essential for our future. To view more content like this, subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications. The channel really benefits from it. I appreciate you being here.